Hey guys, welcome back to The Binger. Marvel Phase 4 is almost upon us, but until now, we haven't really known much. That's all changed with some precious, surprising, and jaw-dropping announcements by the people at the helm. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at every Marvel movie and TV show currently in the works. Trust me, you don't want to be anywhere else but right here. Fans have been waiting for a standalone Black Widow movie for quite some time now. Since the character met her fate in Endgame, it's hotly been anticipated. At San Diego Comic-Con, Marvel Studios officially announced the movie, pegging it for a May 1st, 2020 release date. It's gonna be a big one, that's for sure. Stranger Things, David Harbour, Florence Pugh, and Rachel Weisz will star alongside Scarlett Johansson. What else do we know about the movie? Not a whole lot. As with all Marvel releases, the studios remain tight-lipped about plot lines. Fans have speculated that we'll finally learn what happened in Budapest.
You and I remember Budapest very differently.
It's unclear if Clinton Barton, Hawkeye, is going to make an appearance, but a man can dream, can he? Considering the two characters were BFFs, it would certainly be a welcome cameo that fans would go wild for. There's a lot about Natasha's past that could be uncovered here, but it's almost certainly going to focus on Budapest. Marvel has teased the goings-on so much that we're practically begging to be told the truth once and for all. Never one to leave fans waiting for too long, Marvel announced that the Eternals will be hitting theaters on November 6th, 2020. The Eternals are a big deal in the comics, so really this was just a matter of time. Rumors have been swirling for months that Angelina Jolie is on board, and that's finally been confirmed. Alongside Jolie, Game of Thrones alum Richard Madden will appear. Kumail Nanjiani, Lauren Ridloff, Brian Tyree Henry, Salma Hayek, Leah McHugh, and Don Lee are up there too. These immortal aliens have one big task: protecting the universe. As we've seen in previous Marvel ventures, that's no easy thing to do. Maybe they were sleeping on the job when Thanos rolled around, but we'll let them off the hook for this one. Kevin Feige described the characters as full Jack Kirby, referencing the comic book artist's colorful style. The movie synopsis reads, "The Eternals use their superhuman powers to battle the evil deviants." The conflict between the Eternals and the deviants is epic in the comics, so we can't wait to see how this plays out on the big screen. Expect a lot of artistic CGI and stunning visuals, and we're not just talking about Jolie's cheekbones here either. If that's not enough to make you squeal with excitement, there's more. Oh, there's way more. SHANG-CHI and the Legend of the Ten Rings will drop on February 12th, 2021. Simu Liu, Awkwafina, and Tony Leung all get top billing. Director Destin Daniel Cretton is at the helm of this kick-butt adventure. With Marvel trying to broaden the diversity of its movies, it's about time that this favored Asian American character was introduced. The master of Kung Fu is going to stand off against his nemesis, the Mandarin. That's not to be confused with the Iron Man 3 version of the character, who frankly was nothing like this dude. Fans weren't happy with the fake Mandarin previously outed, so Marvel had to rectify it. They've got an incredible actor in Tony Leung, so watch this space. It's going to be truly fantastic and worth every cent of your hard-earned cash. If you thought that 3 was the magic number for standalone movies, well, then think again. If we're being honest, we kinda thought that 3 was the limit here too. Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America have all hit that level. With Cap and Iron Man gone from the MCU, at least in the forms that we're accustomed to anyway, it made sense to quit at 3, right? Well, Thor is so supremely popular that Marvel has roped Hemsworth into another movie. And quite rightly so. Thor: Love and Thunder is hitting theaters on November 5th, 2021. When we last saw the God of Thunder, he was preparing to travel with the Guardians of the Galaxy. One of the biggest surprises about this 4th installment is the return of Natalie Portman. Tessa Thompson also stars as Valkyrie. Taika Waititi is going to return to direct and has already dropped hints at what the movie's going to be about. According to Waititi, Love and Thunder will be loosely based on the mighty Thor. In terms of comics, this is a fairly recent outing, hailing all the way back to 2014. In this story, Thor loses his abilities and can't do anything. No thunder, no strength, Nothing. In the words of Hulk, he's a puny god. Jane Foster steps in to save the day, wielding the hammer Mjolnir for him. Sounds like this story could tick all the boxes. Doctor Strange fans, you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer for your next fix. The Doc will be returning to his own standalone feature on May 7th, 2021. Not only does the title sound incredible, but the cast, that's great too. Elizabeth Olsen, or the Scarlet Witch, stars alongside Cumberbatch in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Interestingly, Marvel Studios is calling it a horror movie. Now that's something that we can get behind. The movie picks up right after the events of the Disney Plus series WandaVision, and more on that later. We can expect to see Doctor Strange trying to save the Earth, as he does, from a new and mysterious threat. Some initially thought that the movie could take place before the events of Avengers 3 and Endgame. Thankfully, it doesn't look to be the case. Blade. Yeah, there's a lot to be said for those Wesley Snipes movies. Those movies were incredibly good for their time, especially when comic book features weren't really that popular. It's been confirmed that a reboot is in place, but other than that, we have very little detail. We don't even have a date yet. What we do know is that Oscar winner Mahershala Ali is starring as the titular character. Ali is packing some serious heat too when it comes to talent, so Marvel, you've chosen well. Now, the original movies, they were on the gory side, so Marvel's gonna have to find a way to keep this thing appealing. They'll also have to veer away from plots of the other movies if they want to keep things fresh. Now that we've given you a rundown of the movies, let's take a look at what we can expect from the small screen. What's that you say? Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Yes. And yes, Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan deserve more screen time. They've earned it. They're getting it. We couldn't be happier. Alongside those guys is Daniel Bruhl, starring as Baron Zemo. We're so into this, we can't see a way out. The show will begin streaming on Disney Plus in fall of 2020. This marks the first TV show in Phase 4, so it's got a lot riding on it. It's also been made official that Falcon does in fact become Captain America. Keen to use his new mantle, he teams up with Cap's BFF Bucky to keep criminals in check. A series is nothing without an antagonist, and that's where Bruhl comes in. Expect some brainwashing antics from Zemo. The guy fights dirty. Stan and Mackie already have great on-screen chemistry, so fans are invested in them. It's a winning combo. In the comics, Bucky has a stint as Captain America too. Yes, while he may have lost out, there could be some interesting "why didn't Steve pick me" type moments. And we don't peg Bucky as a whiner, but it's what we would be doing if it were us. This TV show is probably as hotly anticipated as some of the movies. Set for a spring 2021 release on Disney Plus, WandaVision stars Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany. Why is this so interesting? Because Vision was destroyed by Thanos in Avengers 3. As he wasn't a victim of the snap, he wasn't brought back. Marvel was keen to announce that this show was unlike anything that they've done before. The show has a purpose, and that's to set up the events of Doctor Strange 2. With that being said, it'll be interesting to see how Vision comes back. In the comics, it was Hank Pym that resurrects Vision, but he doesn't come back the same. He lacks humanity, and obviously Wanda is devastated. Could this be the route that the studio goes down, or are they going to deviate and come up with something else entirely? The excitement is palpable. We might short circuit or lose our mind. Stones. See what we did there? Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 1,000, this one absolutely rocks the Casbah on an epic level. Loki has been through the ringer in the last couple of movies. First, he was offed by Thanos in Avengers 3, when he tried to end the Mad Titan for the sake of his brother. So nice. Then, when the Avengers performed the time heist, a second version of Loki escaped custody. Presumably, this still evil version of him is running around the universe doing what he does best, getting up to mischief. Tom Hiddleston's very own series premieres in spring 2021. The British actor summed it up perfectly, saying, "It is one of the most exciting creative opportunities I have ever come across. A new world, new challenges, and I cannot wait to get started." We can't wait to see it. Fans are hoping to see Loki as he reunites with Thor, but we're also excited to see the darker side of him again. As Loki hasn't yet become an Avenger, expect some antics. It could be anything from Loki trying to end the world again to just figuring out his own personal stuff. Let the mayhem commence. What if Marvel releases their first animated MCU series in summer of 2021? Well, it'll be a hit, of course. What If stars Jeffrey Wright as the Watcher, and it's going to be a big one. Not only is Wright on board, but so are the actors that we know and love from the MCU. Usually animated characters are voiced by different stars, but not in this case. They're sticking with the OGs. This series looks fascinating for multiple reasons. There's the whole, first of its kind thing, but also the premise. What If focuses on alternate realities, highlighting some of the MCU's best characters in vastly different ways. Good characters could be cast as evil ones, some storylines could have different outcomes. The possibilities are literally endless. There's a world of materials to work with that are mind-blowing. For instance, the first episode focuses on a particularly strange question. What would happen if Peggy Carter took the super soldier serum instead of Steve Rogers? Ever wanted to know what Peggy would be like as Captain America? Look no further, my friends. Disney Plus has it all planned out, and it is going to be a feast for the senses. It's like American Horror Story, but for nerds. Hawkeye. He lost a lot of stuff during the snap. His entire family was turned to dust, and as a consequence, he totally lost his mind. When we meet up with Hawkeye in Endgame, it's clear that he's been off-grid doing his thing as his alter ego Ronin. Comic book fans would have noticed the similarities in his outfit to that of the darker side of the character. Natasha speaks a little about what he's been doing as a ruthless vigilante, but that's where it ends. Thankfully, Clint Barton gets his family back, but we want to know what he did as Ronin. Cue Hawkeye, the Disney Plus series that debuts in fall 2021. It's been rumored that we'll also see Hawkeye mentoring some young up-and-comers. In the comics, one of the most prominent is a young woman named Kate Bishop. Bishop, who has been confirmed as a character in the series, eventually takes on the Hawkeye mantle. The role hasn't been cast yet, so watch this space. This could be Marvel's way of setting up the character for the next round of future Avengers. It's a story worth telling, and we can't wait to hear all about it. Well, there you have it. You've got the scoop. Which one are you most excited for? Sound off in the comment section down below. Before you go, do us a solid please, hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe too so you don't miss a thing. And until next time, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.